A lot of you guys seem to love my reviewing a perfect UGC piece that I posted 2 weeks ago. So I'm coming back at you to show you the actual final edited result from the raw asset that we actually showed in this video, as well as compare based on a comment that was actually posted under the video. So somebody asked under the video, please make a video where you critique good and bad UGC. So I kind of want to give you actually a twist of that today and review a good and bad brief that we made, which ultimately led to a good and bad end result in terms of raw assets. So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you go first watch the reviewing a perfect UGC video and then come back to this one so you can actually get the full value. My name is Justin and I'm the founder at Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. So let's get going. Essentially, if we just kind of quickly scroll through the previous video I uploaded almost 2 weeks ago, first of all, I've realized I'm wearing the exact same clothes as I am right now. Same hoodie, same shirt under. Anyways, kind of a funny thing aside. But this was the raw asset that we actually received based on the brief that I broke down in this video. So I broke down what I thought was going to be the perfect brief, quote unquote, which led to a very good end result from the creator side of things. So essentially it led to a very good UGC piece. And then I want to come back at you and show you the edited version of that piece. So let's play on screen right now the edited version of that clip.
The best decision of my life is when I stopped buying tampons and switched to these period underwears from NYX. Their underwear absorbs up to 8 tampons worth and helps keep you protected all day long. They're machine washable and the most comfortable underwear pair I've owned. As someone who loves anything eco-friendly, I couldn't resist switching to period-proof underwear. I'm definitely happy to have chosen NYX and recommend you check them out too.
All right, so if you compare that to the initial results that we got from the creator, a couple things changed. We actually slightly changed the pacing throughout the video. So we made a couple different cuts. We actually made the video starts, just basically actually shortened the start of the video, because sometimes the creators will actually send us the video and start the voiceover maybe a second or two after the beginning. We wanted to make sure that the voiceover started as soon as the video started. So we moved the beginning of the video a little bit ahead. Then obviously we added the text, right? So a lot of what's happening on TikTok is coming down to the visual elements. So the text that is on there, because you got to think about the fact that a lot of people may not necessarily have the sound on. I mean, look, it's TikTok, right? So of course it's a video platform. Most people are going to have sound on, but it still helps because we're lazy at the end of the day, and it's much easier to read as you go through an ad or a video than actually have to listen and comprehend everything that's being said. And when you're starting to deal with people that might have accents or pronounce stuff differently than others, it might get just a little bit confusing for the audience. So just having subtitles on screen helps. But also it helps with the pacing, because when you have stuff appearing and disappearing from the screen, it keeps the viewers engaged. So that's kind of what we did here. Added the text, and basically like I invite you guys to kind of stop through the edited version to see what type of text we added and how it kind of looks like overall. We also slightly changed one of the cuts, which was the one at 0:18, because for more than, I believe, 2 or 3 seconds, she was like on the same cut. So we actually just kind of zoomed in at some points to, again, add a little bit more pop to the video. And then very important, at the end we added a call to action. So that's also like kind of mandatory, you know, if you're doing UGC, having your call to action at the end. What I found that's pretty good is having text on screen, especially at the beginning and the end of the video, because at the beginning, this is kind of what catches the attention. So, you know, having your hook, right? The best decision of my life is the first text that you see on screen, and then basically kind of cuts down to what is the best decision of your life. And then at the end, it's, you know, you can check them out at nyx.com. So that was the fully edited UGC piece. All right, now I want to compare it to you, as you know, suggested by one of the viewers on the previous video. Compare a good versus a bad brief that you did. So look, I'm not gonna say, like, I'm gonna show you the bad brief in a second. I'll start with the good one. But when it comes to a bad brief, it's kind of really subjective, because you could send the most awful brief to a very great creator and potentially get an amazing result. Bad brief, bad creator usually leads to a bad combination. Again, at the end of the day, it really is subjective, but I'm gonna show you a brief that led to a not so good end result in terms of raw assets that we received. So first and foremost, a perfect brief. So I'm gonna show you like a different brief than I showed in my previous video. This was actually a brief that we made on a portfolio piece for Hero Cosmetics. So it was actually one of the most complete briefs we've ever done, and which led to one of the best UGC pieces we've ever had in terms of, again, raw content from the creator. So first of all, right here, again, kind of very similar at the top. If you look at the middle, kind of similar to what I showed in the previous video on the brief from NYX. Then coming down a little bit more details right here in terms of what the creators should do and what the creators should avoid. And also we added key points on that one. So some of the key points from the products that we wanted the creator to verbally say during the piece. You know, that's kind of usually standard. Like we usually always tell people to not have a monotone voice. I feel like it is a little bit redundant, but we always tell our creators that because look, we are still working sometimes with newer creators that don't have as much experience, and we just rather tell everybody to not have a monotone voice, even though it's kind of a given for most creators, because energy is really contagious when it comes to UGCs. So however the creator looks and feels through the UGC piece, usually the viewers will kind of feel similar, right? So if it feels energetic, well, they're gonna kind of feel energetic too. So if you feel something that's motivating, they'll feel motivated to buy. If it's monotone, then they won't really want to take action. So here, in terms of what the creator should do, we added a little bit more information from the next brief that was shown in the previous video. So show you how to integrate, the product in your daily active lifestyle routine. So that was kind of the overarching theme, like show that, you're doing a little bit of in and out, and how you're fitting that product into your lifestyle. Then we kind of talk about 3 main key points that we wanted her to mention, like mention that, reduces the appearance of stubborn blackhead as it minimizes the pores. And finally, like if you have sensitive skin, how, it feels gentle and soft on your skin. Cool. So with that said, again, as mentioned in my previous video, the most important part to me is the storyboard, because this is really where you're going to give as much guidance as possible to your creator. So right here, what we've added is full storyboard examples. So coming back to the brief showed in the previous video, actually, there's no storyboard example. We actually just went straight with action clips and voiceover guidance. That one, we went with the full thing. So with a storyboard example, as well as essentially the same type of guidance that I showed for the next clip. So basically, browse TikTok, took a look at stuff that competitive brands were doing, or other creators within the industry, took screenshots from these videos. One creator in particular, her name was Lauren. We actually browsed through her aesthetics, and we found that that was going to be kind of a same style that we wanted to achieve with this style of UGC. So we browsed through her profile, took screenshots of various videos that she had, and kind of mixed them together to make that brief for this creator that we picked for this brand. I'm actually gonna put on screen right now the final edited version that we had based on this brief. So watch this real quick and let's get back to this.
Listen up, if you are anything like me, every time I leave the house in this heat, I come home and my skin feels so gross and clogged. But I found this product from Hero that has been a lifesaver. The pore release from Hero has transformed my skin, and it has made the biggest difference in minimizing my pores. It's the perfect product to treat blackheads. I mean, just look how clear my skin looks after a few days. Not only is this a game changer if you have an active lifestyle, but it is so gentle and refreshing on your skin. This is a must for your routine, so go check it out now at herocosmetics.com.
Cool. So if you compare all the shots from there, it's very similar to what was in the brief right here, right? Like at first, show yourself getting ready. I had like a big mirror right there. She was the same thing, big mirror. Then show you coming home from working out outside. I had a working out shot right here. It was actually not shot in the gym. I can understand how it might, make some people feel uncomfortable filming from there, but she filmed herself, clearly with the gym bag coming back home. So that, still followed the guidance that we had. Show a close-up of the product, show a close-up of the product. Clip of you using the product on your skin, filming you from behind in the bathroom mirror. Very specific guidance. We got the same thing, right? Because we were clear both in the textual form, both in the visual form. So where I'm going with this is the following. There's 2 types of learners in this course. There's visual learners, and there's people that you just have to tell them and they'll get exactly what you mean from the get-go. And you don't really know who's who before you actually start working with them. Like the creator that we worked with the Nyx campaign, she probably was somebody that you just told her what to do, and she's good at executing on that. She's somebody who's very creative. Others, they need some visual support. They need to see what you're referring to, right? If you go back to school, to elementary school, a lot of us were the same way. The teacher had to show you examples on the board to make you understand. It's the same thing with creators. Some of them really have to visually see support of what you're recommending them do. So that is a good brief and good UGC piece that we got from there. Now, let me show you what I would qualify as, again, subjectively a bad brief. So this one we actually made also for a portfolio piece that I do not think we're gonna get to use for our portfolio. We made that for a brand called Lunia right here. Again, just to kind of create like a bigger UGC portfolio for the agency. Looking at that one right here, you can tell that the brief was almost as detailed as the other one that we had. So the one from Nyx or Hero. So brief itself, very similar. Now, you're gonna notice an extra section at the bottom. So I decided to go kind of different with this one. So looking at the creator's Instagram profile, she actually posted a lot of dark, aesthetic, luxury tone content. So what I said is, look, let's just give it a shot. I know what a lot of our brands will do to get good UGC sometimes is just simply ship out a bunch of products to creators with no expectations of getting content back, and then kind of seeing, you know, what they get back from these creators. Obviously, they have to do a lot of filtering from that because some of them are going to be good, usable ads. Others might need a little bit of editing, and others are just simply unusable. So what I said right here is like, hey, I love the style of the creator that she already has. I think it would fit very well with the brand that we want to work with. So if you look at the storyboard, what I said right here is full freedom of creativity. Give it your best, see what you can come up with. So what I said right here is, you know, recommending you shoot a separate voiceover file, blah, blah, blah. So that's pretty much it, right? First of all, I did not get a separate voiceover file. So that was like completely kind of missed out, you know, from the creator's part of things. And then looking at the end results, I'm not going to show it out of respect for the creator, but we really did not get a good results at the end of the day. We got kind of clips that really did not fit the aesthetic of the brand. And now we're going to have a lot of work to do in the post-processing. So about editing the video. Not sure if we're actually going to get back to a good result, but for the first time, I've tried something where we just gave full freedom of creativity to the creator. It actually did not work out well. Keep in mind, this is a creator that we were working with for the first time with, so I did not really have any expectations prior to that point. Other creators, as an example, like the NYX creator that we work with, I'd be more than happy to give her freedom of creativity if she's already proven more than 2 or 3 times, I believe now with our agency, that she can actually deliver great content. So it's basically like we kind of have to navigate through that. So take what I'm saying here with a grain of salt. You might be working with experienced creators that you would have no problem giving them full freedom of creativity, but lesson learned on my part, if it's a new creator, give them strict guidance on how to actually perform the UGC piece. See how they execute. If they can follow strict guidance, usually they're going to be good enough to be able to have a little bit more freedom of creativity down the line. If you're watching this and you'd like more tips about creating the best UGC briefs, just about the UGC space in general, about TikTok ads, Facebook ads, the e-commerce marketing space, then I invite you to check the description below and join a free Facebook group where we post content almost daily. You're one of the first to know also about these new YouTube videos, so that way you can get your hands on the content fast and implement it within your own brand. Additionally, if you're an e-commerce store owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to also check out the description below and book in a very short demo call with our team so we can see if we're the best fit to help you scale through TikTok ads, omni-channel paid ads, and UGC production. On that note, make sure you check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.